Good morning, Tim Sykes here. I guess it's morning when I post this. It's the middle of the night when I'm filming this. And the answer is no, I don't sleep as much as I should because there's so much information to get out. And I feel like it's my job to update you when, patterns adapt. As you might know, if you've been watching my video lessons for the past few months, short selling, I think, has gotten very, very dangerous. Um, the risk reward is great in a bad way. Not that it's great in an amazing way. There's great risks to shorting compared to the potential reward. So I don't really short that much anymore. Um, with going longs, I really like morning dip buys, but we haven't really seen any true panics lately. So my third pattern that I really like is, first green days. LTUM had obviously a few up days, but then a red day and it consolidated. And then this first big green day was a breakout to new highs. And a lot of people, who just, memorize charts, they say, wow, big first green day, look at the record volume. Let's buy that and hold overnight. And that's exactly what I did. The next morning, I was not rewarded. It actually would have paid to sell into the close. I still made some money, but I would have made more had I sold into the close the night before. This did not gap up or morning spike the way I wanted. So RAKR on Wednesday, very nice breakout. A little overextended. You can see all the little green candles, but really the first big green day. And more importantly, a breakout. This was the first day on Wednesday that it broke the previous highs here at 28 cents. But I was buying it at like 39. So I recognize that, I'm buying this late. But at the same time, we see a lot of these stocks, run up. Recently, CYDY had a similar breakout right here. And then the very next day, it was a 30-40% gain. So there are some precedents. BLOZF also had a breakout right here over the previous high, and then the next day was a huge breakout. So RAKR, some people were asking, like, why am I buying it at 39? It's so overextended. I mean, just look at CYDY and BLOZF as recent examples where the first big green day breakout over the previous highs led to another big green day. But at the same time, I did not hold it overnight because, I recognize that LTUM didn't work overnight. And there's also probably like a dozen examples, if I really wanted to get into it, of recent first green day OTC plays that did not gap up, that did not morning spike the next day. And in fact, they actually tanked the next day, whether, you had to get out right at the open to make a small gain or a small loss. But pretty much all of them had morning panics. And some people say, "Oh, Tim, you create the morning panic when you sell." Well, RAKR, I did not hold overnight, and look, it was the same exact morning panic. So a lot of people, have all these conspiracy theories, that I'm like in control of this whole market, whether I trade it or not. The patterns are going to work. That's kind of the cool thing here. And no, I did not hold RAKR overnight. I sold it a little too soon here around 43, 44. It actually went all the way to 46. And if you did manage to, hold overnight, you could have theoretically gotten out at 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, all of which would have been better than my sell here in the 43s. But at the same time, I didn't want to take the overnight risk. And again, when I trade with such a small account, it's not even just trading for profits. It's also trading in order to teach. So I'm proud that when I saw LTUM not gap up or morning spike into its first green day when it, frankly should have, I was glad to use that lesson and adapt on RAKR. And I got a pretty good exit. Like I said, though, obviously the exit could have been better had I held a little longer. But, I usually err on the side of caution. And now that brings me to my play on Thursday, KWBT, where I made a few $100. Exact kind of uptrend. not an exact science, but the same kind of price action. Here's KWBT, big spike, and it actually dipped, but there was a nice little bounce and a little breakout here above 415 was the late day breakout. In KWBT, I mean, if you look back 100 days, it doesn't really matter. But, even 50 days, I mean, it had like one big green day, but the next day was solidly red. This is a nice first green day, but as you can see from all the times that it usually has green days on the candle, it doesn't close at its highs. So that's what this little difference in the candle is. If it closed right at its highs, it would have been a full candle. Same thing with this green day back here on December 12th, green day on January 9th, green day on January 10th, green day on January 13th, and green day on January 16th. None of them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 examples of green days, and the stock does not close at its highs. So now, not only am I thinking, okay, I'm not sure if I want to hold this kind of play overnight, because the trend has been, better to sell into the market close. But then also, do I really want to sell right at the market close? Because 7 different examples, it did not even get there. It did not even finish high. So very speculative stock. And I specifically said this, I'm not sure if I was going to hold it overnight, but it hit my goals. I made roughly 10%. That was the bottom of my goals. And, even if it had been like 9% or 8%, some people are like, okay, so you have to wait for your goals to get hit, then you sell. It was not acting perfectly. And when like I said, this is not a perfect science, but I have expectations. Given the fact that this stock has failed on first green days 7 times, they failed to hold their gains into the close, because I don't know if the market makers are pushing it, or promoters are pumping it, or maybe just some existing shareholders are selling into the close. Whatever the case may be, it's not finishing that strong, and it does not have a history of strong second days. Although, some people will say, well, why even trade it? Massive volume breakout. So does somebody know something? Is there going to be news on Friday? Is there going to be news over the weekend? I have no idea. But for me, buying with the intent of holding overnight, but clearly commenting that I was not sure if I was going to hold it overnight. But I want to give it a chance, because, big first green day here with record volume, like, yeah, it has failed 7 times, but all of that volume on all 7 times added up doesn't even match 1 day's of volume here. Or maybe it's, similar. But my point is that this is huge, massive volume. This is not like a 10 or 20% increase. This thing traded roughly triple more than it has been recently trading. So there were a lot of buyers. So I sold it because, again, it hit my goals. And even if it hadn't, I would have sold it, close to hitting my goals, just to play it safe overnight. You never know. And then also, I can always rebuy it back. That's the beauty of trading. With short selling, this is another bad thing with short selling. Sometimes, you go days or weeks trying to find shares to short of some pump and dump. Then you finally find shares to short, and it might not be the right time, and you might start getting squeezed. But you don't really want to sell, or you don't want to buy to cover your short. You don't want to exit your position, because you might not be able to get short again. But with a play like KWBT, I could buy again. If it does start running, it's still finished up 40% on the day, 40% plus. So if it looks like it's going to have another 20, 30, 40%, I can just rebuy. That's the beauty of buying. And that is the beauty of playing it safe overnight. So I am playing it safe overnight on all of these plays based on recent evidence. So if you understand what I'm saying, leave a comment underneath this video saying I will base my trades off recent evidence, because that's what it is. I'm trying to judge the market. I'm trying to judge this pattern. I'm trying to be less stressful. I'm in California right now, so my time zones are all whacked. I really hate getting up at 5, 6 a.m. I'm just not a morning guy. I'm filming this in the middle of the night when I should be asleep. So I'm going to take it as stress free as I can, or minimize the stress as much as I can. And that involves for me right now selling before the close on the first green day. And again, all because of all these recent examples and all this evidence. So if you understand it, leave a comment underneath. I'm curious to see who understands this. I'll see you in the chat room. Thank you.